This is the most powerful work we can do. This is going to change everything. When you tune back into your own internal power, your own internal wisdom, everything changes, including internally and externally. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you are here. If you are new here, we have videos every single week talking about what it means to live an aligning, fulfilling, and present life. Today, we are talking about 7 common reasons that you are not hearing your intuition. Or maybe you just don't think you're hearing your intuition. It's there, it's quiet. It's about finding that connection and deepening it. But before I even get into these 7 reasons, I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with you. Absolutely nothing wrong with you if you feel like you can't hear your intuition. These programs are so loud that we can't hear the more subtle, calm, peaceful voice and guidance of our internal guidance. And by the way, I use internal guidance and intuition interchangeably. Why? I don't know. I just feel like it should be called your internal guidance because that's what your intuition is. Every single one of us has an intuition, and it is truly guiding you from your internal space, usually from your heart or your gut. It's connected to your soul, I believe. I mean, we don't know specifically what it is, but it's just those feelings that you have that you should be doing something or that you should try something out, which I don't really like the word should, but that's a whole nother story. But it's just this feeling that you have. It's very peaceful, loving, sometimes a little bit scary. It is always guiding you towards living your most aligning, fulfilling, and present. So let's get into the first reason. The first reason you might not be hearing your intuition, aka your internal guidance, is because you're not letting your mind have its say. So let's talk about the difference between the mind and the internal guidance for a moment, because we do have these 2 different voices. Some may have more than that going on inside your head. Again, nothing is wrong with you. You're not crazy. We all have this dual situation going on that can make you feel like you are going crazy. But our mind is very primitive. It is very survival based. It helps you survive. It's logical. It helps you solve problems. And a lot of times it comes off as that fear-based anxiety. You shouldn't do this because it's scary. You could be outcast. You could be ridiculed. You could die. It likes to think of worst case scenarios. So it's a very constrictive, fear-based voice, and it can be very, very loud. There are a lot of mind stories that we have. A lot of them we picked up from our childhood when we're in theta brain state and we're getting programmed. Our subconscious is getting programmed. But the mind has a lot of stories, and some of them do not serve us. So your intuition is this peaceful, loving, just sense of knowing. And it is guiding you towards things that feel expansive. The voice itself feels expansive, and it truly is like a different radio station. So going back to the first reason as to why you may not be hearing your internal guidance, maybe you're just not letting the mind get its say. You're suppressing the mind stories too much. The mind is like a small child. It just wants to be heard and validated. Don't we all? We just all want to be validated. Your feelings are valid. Whatever you are feeling or thinking is valid. It makes sense based on your experiences and what you've gone through. So let your mind just have its peace. Maybe you can talk about it with a friend. Again, make sure it's a space where they don't mind you. I don't want to say unloading things on them, but you just don't want to put a lot on other people. So make sure they agree to it too. Talk to someone that you can talk to. Journal about it, but just let your mind have its say. Let it just word vomit all the things that the mind wants to say. Let the mind get it all out, put it all out on the table, and then it can kind of go to the side and be like, okay, I've said what I needed to say. So the first reason you may not be hearing your internal guidance is just because you're not letting your mind say its piece, say what it needs to say. So just let it get it out, and then you can tune back into that space. By the way, if you need help tuning into your internal guidance, I have quite a few resources for you. First is a video on how to connect to your internal guidance. I will link it somewhere. 2, I just revamped my mini course, Discover Your Internal Guidance, where I have 4 different lessons. Each lesson has a video explaining how to not only determine the difference between these 2 voices like we just talked about, how to deepen your connection, how to release stuck emotion, which we're going to get into that could be preventing you from hearing your internal guidance, and how to live from this voice. I just revamped it, all new yoga flows, some bonus content, Such good stuff. It's half off for the next month, only $22 for this whole program. Such a good way to jump into this work if you need help embodying these things. You love learning it, but sometimes it's hard for you to embody it. So go and check out Discover Your Internal Guidance, half off for the next month. I will link it below. Second reason you are not hearing your internal guidance is because you're just moving too fast. Again, nothing wrong with you. We live in a very fast-paced society. Instant gratification. We can get things to our house in 2 days. We can go and get food delivered to our house, which I did the other day and it was awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just hard to get out of that mode of like go, 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 chase, chase, chase. You have to slow down. You have to slow down to tune in to your body. Your internal guidance lives in your body, like I mentioned, either your heart or your gut region, or it could be somewhere else in your body, but those are the most common. So you have to slow down and tune in. That's why things like meditation, just breathing, yoga are so important. And that is why I have those included in my Discover Your Internal Guidance program. So if you're getting frustrated because you feel like you're disconnected from your intuition, just try to intentionally incorporate more slow into your life. And even the busiest people, I think the busiest people need it the most, can incorporate more slow. What can you release? Where can you stop and breathe? Where can you let go of that tight grip of needing to do all the time so you can slow down and tune back into yourself? Gift yourself time and space to tune back into you. All right, it kind of already touched on this next reason you may not be hearing your internal guidance, but that is because you are disconnected from your body. Again, this is very common for a lot of us due to many different reasons. Maybe some like truly traumatic things have happened to us. You feel like disconnected from your body. Again, nothing is wrong with you. If you feel like you need professional help, please go and get it. I have seen a therapist multiple times. So amazing. But if you feel disconnected from your body, it is incredibly hard to hear your intuition and your internal guidance because, like I said, it lives in your body. That's how you hear it. You drop your awareness from your mind into your heart or your gut or somewhere in the body. Our body is so intelligent. It is an intelligent machine, basically, even probably more intelligent than some machines out there. And it is constantly sending us messages. And a lot of times we're just not listening until it's too late and then you get really sick or something happens. So just that practice of slowing down, going back to our last reason, tuning into the body with yoga, breath work, whatever feels intuitive to you, whatever feels right to you, exciting to you, feels good in your body, do more of that. It could be dancing, it could be running, it could be walking, it could be anything. Just do some things that help you get into your body. Feel what it's like to be in your body and move this beautiful vessel that you have, because it is beautiful, it is intelligent, and it is on your side. Your body is on your side. It is trying to tell you so many things. You just have to slow down and listen. Another reason you may not be hearing your internal guidance is because you are prioritizing external validation. We've all been there. I am still there sometimes. I notice it now easier, a little bit easier, but we've all been there. There's a lot of noise around us, not only from the people closest to us, but the things we consume, what we watch, what we pay attention to, telling us what we should and shouldn't do. But here's the truth. Even the people that love you dearly, no one knows what's best for you besides you. You are truly the only person that knows what is right for you. And sometimes it just takes time and space and even a little bit of distance. I talked about this in a video I did almost a year ago, talking about all the lessons I learned from moving to Arizona. So I'm not saying you need to move to Arizona or somewhere else to hear your intuition, but sometimes just like time and space from like the closest influences to you help you just hear that voice. So maybe it is a trip or just spending some time by yourself, tuning into yourself. That's what I love about this work is once you do tune into your internal guidance and you start hearing that wisdom and receiving that wisdom, and it could be in many different forms, you realize that you no longer need external validation. And that is such a freeing feeling. Now, you may forget it again and again. I still forget it. But once you remember that you don't need that external validation, you can get all the guidance and love and wisdom from inside of yourselves. Game over. Not game over, but it's amazing. Such an empowering and inspiring and incredible and freeing feeling to remember. It's just about remembering. We know all these things. We just have to remember them. Another reason you may not be hearing your internal guidance is because it just feels really scary to the mind. So going back to the first one, let your mind have its peace. And also remember that you always have free will. You always have free will in how you respond to what you hear or receive from your internal guidance or the opportunities that are presented to you. And if something feels really scary, maybe you got the nudge to do something that does feel really scary. You don't have to do it right away. You can take baby steps and see what it feels like. I know it can be so easy to want to stay in our comfort zone. And don't get me wrong, there's days where I do like all the comfy things. Maybe it's like a comfort zone day. I don't know. But there are also times where my soul just craves like stepping out, even though the mind is going crazy. And it's like, no, you can't do that. It's scary. You're putting yourself out there. Stepping out is where you grow. That's where you expand. Again, going back to like your mind is a little bit more constrictive. Your internal guidance is expansive. When you do the expansive things, that's when you grow and evolve and change into different versions of you. And that can seem scary too, but it's okay. That's why I am sharing all these things, because I've definitely been in those spots where it feels really scary. And sometimes you even like change and you kind of lose your identity a little bit by tuning into this different frequency, tuning into this different voice. You let go of things that you used to always love to do and you've taken on new habits. And there are definitely things that serve you overall, but can just feel really scary. So just know you're not alone. And if something seems really scary, just take baby steps, keep moving. It's all a part of the journey. It's all a part of the alignment adventure. It's the name of my podcast, and you're not alone. Following your internal guidance can be really scary for a lot of us, but lead to such magical things. Next reason you may not be hearing your internal guidance, and this one is huge, and this is what I help you do in my mini course, Discover Your Internal Guidance. Like I mentioned, I also lead you through this in internal guidance sessions if you want a one-on-one experience. So you have the course, so you can do the one-on-one experience, or you can just try to do it on your own with the resources I've provided. Again, whatever feels right to you. Pretty much all of us have stuck emotion. Again, there's nothing wrong with us. It's just something that happens throughout our life when we feel those really strong emotions and we don't allow ourselves to feel it fully. We suppress it, we bury it down. You know those sayings, or you know those people that are like, bury those emotions, like rub some dirt in it, get over it, blah, blah, blah. Totally not my vibe. I'm like, feel the feels, cry it out, let yourself just like feel whatever you need to feel. So this can be tricky, and I just want to give the disclaimer that I am not like a professional therapist or psychologist or anything like that. So if you feel nudged that way, please go that direction. Tune into what feels right for you. But I have personally experienced this process of going into your internal guidance, like going into pure awareness and feeling the heaviness. Like everyone knows that feeling when you think about something that has just been heavy on your awareness, and it feels like a weight on your chest or like something in your throat or maybe something in your stomach. When you're in pure awareness, you can go into that heaviness, feel it, and release it. It's just stuck emotion, energy that got stuck in your body, because emotions are energy in motion that we just didn't allow ourselves to feel in the moment because it didn't feel safe. Again, there's nothing wrong with you, but you can choose to intentionally go back in and feel those emotions when they come up, release it, so you can tune into that wisdom. Sometimes there's just so much heaviness within our body, it's hard for us to tune in and find that connection. So again, if you feel like you need support with myself, please check out any of those resources or go seek other resources to help you feel those emotions, because that is so, so important. And some of the most powerful work you can do, it can seem really scary, but also I've noticed when I allow myself to feel the emotion, it only takes like a few minutes max. So it's like riding the wave, right? You ride the wave of feeling the emotion, you release it, and everyone feels so much better after a good cry. I know I do. I feel so good, so light, so free. The last reason that I have on here as to why you may not be hearing your internal guidance is because you're not open to all forms of communication from your internal guidance. Reference an episode from Alignment Adventures. I will link it somewhere. I can't remember the name and the number, but I talk about how in quantum physics, everything's connected. Everything is connected. So you are constantly receiving signals and signs from the universe, from source, from God, from the angels, from your guides, from your internal guidance, whatever you want to call it, on things that are leading you towards your highest good. So you may hear words from your internal guidance. When you go into that space, you may see images, you may feel feelings, or you may start to see synchronicities in your external reality. Maybe you keep seeing a commercial for this conference that's just like piquing your interest. Go and explore that. Like, what is there that is piquing your interest? Or maybe someone keeps bringing something up in a conversation. That was the case for me. Someone kept bringing up like, oh, you seem like you'd be a yoga teacher, or like that you would teach yoga or be into yoga. Have you ever thought about that? And then I went and got my yoga teacher certification. And now I love teaching yoga, practicing yoga, and I love learning the philosophy of yoga. So just follow those excitements, follow those nudges, and be open to all forms of communication. I hope this video was useful. Like I mentioned, please go and check out any of those resources to help you reconnect with your internal guidance, because I honestly believe this is the most powerful work we can do. This is going to change everything. When you tune back into your own internal power, your own internal wisdom, everything changes, including internally and externally. So I'm sending you all so much love. If you are new here, please subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Leave in the comments below maybe a reason that you feel like you're not connecting with your internal guidance, or different ways that have helped you connect with your intuition. I would love to hear from all of you in the comments below. Also, the best way to support my work is to just like this video. So give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And of course, I'm sending you all so much love, all the highest vibes, and I will see you in the next video.